In the dark waters off the Pacific coast, a Cartel go-fast boat slices through the waves at 45 knots, engines screaming, running without lights, and carrying a fortune in powder sealed tight beneath its deck. Far above, a U.S. Coast Guard MH-65 Dolphin helicopter locks onto a white-hot shape through its FLIR scope. One flick of a switch, and the hunt begins. At 0300 hours, the cutter Stratton is already in motion, radar sweeping the horizon 180 nautical miles southwest of Guatemala. The crew doesn't know it yet, but this pursuit will end with one of the most dramatic interdictions in recent memory. The sky is silent, the sea endless, until the first ping hits the radar screen. 0300 hours. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Stratton slices through calm Pacific swells, its radar screens glowing in the dim red light of the bridge. The ship patrols a lonely stretch of ocean, 180 nautical miles southwest of Guatemala, when a faint blip flickers onto the display. No transponder, no radio ID, just speed. The blip surges across the radar faster than anything should be moving out here. The operator calls it out. Unknown contact, bearing 160, range 8 miles. A camera turret whirs as the infrared feed stabilizes. The shape appears, long, narrow, and running dark. Triple outboard engines flare white-hot on the thermal scope. It's a textbook go-fast boat, the preferred ride of cartel smugglers trying to outrun the law in international waters. On the flight deck, crew members move fast. The order is short: shadow and confirm. Within minutes, the MH-65 Dolphin from HITRON, the helicopter interdiction tactical squadron, spins up its blades. Rotor wash whips across the deck as the helo lifts off, disappearing into the moonlight. Back in Combat Information Center, operators mark the target's trajectory. The Lockheed Martin radar array locks on steady, feeding data to the helicopter. Below decks, the boarding team gears up. Helmets, night vision, and M4s ready, though they hope not to use them. As the chase begins, every man and woman aboard knows what's at stake. A single decision can mean life, death, or diplomatic storm. Could this be just another smuggler, or something far more dangerous? 0330 hours. The MH-65 Dolphin banks hard over the Pacific, its rotors clawing at humid night air. Below, the cartel crew sees the faint glimmer of a searchlight and realizes they've been spotted. Instantly, the 3 outboard engines roar to life, pushing the vessel past 45 knots. A white wake slashing the Black Sea. In the cutter's Combat Information Center, voices overlap. Radar tracks confirm the contact is accelerating and maneuvering erratically. This is U.S. Coast Guard cutter Stratton. Stop your vessel immediately or face disabling fire. The warning repeats twice, no response. Instead, the smugglers start tossing fuel barrels into the sea, desperate to lighten their load. The infrared feed spikes. The engines are burning hot now, each one glowing like molten steel through the helicopter's FLIR camera. The pilot steadies the aircraft at 120 knots, closing to within visual range. The hit-run door gunner leans out, his precision rifle locked into a stabilized mount. He lines up the first engine, crosshairs steady, laser locked. The Dolphin vibrates with the rhythmic chop of rotor blades as ocean spray lashes the windshield. Below, the suspect boat cuts sharp zigzags trying to force a miss. Sea state 3, waves 3 feet high. The pilot holds altitude, refusing to break off. One slip, one gust, and they could both go into the water. But there's no turning back now. The window to stop them before they hit international waters is closing fast. Will the gunners take the shot before the smugglers reach open waters? 0345 hours. The order comes through crisp over comms. Fire when ready. The MH-65 Dolphin drops lower, skimming just above the waves. The gunner braces against the wind, one gloved hand steadying the rifle's optic. Through the scope, the outboards flicker in infrared. 3 burning hearts against the cold sea. The first shot cracks. Miss. The tracer ricochets off the dark water. The pilot adjusts course, holding the helo in perfect position despite the crosswind. The second shot strikes metal. Sparks erupt from the port engine, but it keeps roaring. Then comes the third. A sharp flash, a bloom of smoke, and the center motor dies in seconds. The boat lurches, losing speed, its roar fading into the ocean wind. Cheers erupt from the Stratton's bridge. The crew watches as the Cartel vessel drifts, one engine coughing its last. Above, the helicopter circles tight, its searchlight slicing through mist and salt spray. Below, chaos breaks out on the smuggler's deck. Figures scramble, throwing heavy black-taped packages into the sea. Hundreds of pounds sinking fast beneath the waves. They know the chase is over, but they'll do anything to destroy the evidence. Launch the RHIB! The cutter's fast boat team moves, diving into the rolling water. Within minutes, the rigid hull inflatable boat speeds toward the crippled vessel at 35 knots, bouncing over swells under a beam of white light. Each second counts before the contraband disappears. As the Coast Guard closes in, the truth begins to float, literally, to the surface. What will they find hidden inside those floating black packages? 0400 hours. The Stratton's RHIB slams against the side of the disabled boat, boarding hooks locking in. 4 suspects drop to their knees as armed Coast Guardsmen climb over the rail. The smell of burned fuel hangs thick in the air. One of the engines still smolders, sending curls of black smoke into the pre-dawn sky. "Clear!" shouts the lead officer. Within minutes, the vessel is secured. One man lies injured near the stern, burned from the engine fire. Medics move in fast, treating him on deck. The others are handcuffed, silent, staring down at the floor as the team searches every compartment. Then, under the deck boards, the discovery. Dozens of tightly wrapped bales stacked end to end, 2 tons of cocaine compressed into waterproof blocks. The number stuns even the veterans. Nearly $150 million in street value. Under floodlights from the cutter, each package is cataloged and photographed. Every brick bears the same cartel stamp, a jaguar's head, the mark of a network long suspected, but rarely caught this far offshore. Crew members move methodically, their white gloves streaked with salt and diesel. At 0500, the Stratton's captain radios command, "Target neutralized, cargo secured, no U.S. casualties." Cheers echo through the bridge, but no one relaxes yet. The work isn't over. Evidence is transferred to containment modules, the suspects taken below deck for interrogation. By sunrise, the story has already reached media wires. A major bust, 2 tons seized, 4 arrests, a clean operation in international waters. But one question still lingers beneath the calm Pacific dawn. Who exactly was this shipment meant for, and how close were they to port? 0500 hours. The seized cartel boat drifts alongside the Stratton, its engines dead and cargo secured. As dawn breaks over the Pacific, technicians sweep the wreckage for hidden electronics. Beneath a waterproof tarp, they find it, a scorched satellite phone sealed in plastic and duct tape. The device is battered but intact. It's rushed to the intelligence bay on board. Within the hour, analysts at the U.S. Coast Guard Intelligence Coordination Center establish a remote link. Inside the sat phone's memory are fragments of encrypted coordinates, too deliberate to be random. When decrypted, they match known Navy intercept points from previous smuggling lanes along Ecuador's coast. The implications are immediate. This wasn't an isolated crew. It was a node in a vast trafficking network moving tons of narcotics through the Eastern Pacific corridor. The data confirms cross-border coordination involving multiple launches, relay vessels, and air cover provided by cartel spotters. In Washington, D.C., and Panama, encrypted messages trigger a multinational task force alert. Operations planners from the U.S., Colombia, and Ecuador prepare follow-up raids before the network can scatter. For the Stratton's crew, it's validation. Their chase wasn't just about one boat. It was a domino that might collapse an entire supply chain. As the sun rises, the empty ocean hides its secrets once more. The Coast Guard logs the recovery, the contraband, the arrests, and now a digital key to the next link in the chain. If this was only one piece of the network, how many more boats are still out there tonight? The strike off Guatemala's coast proved a simple truth. Even in the vast emptiness of the Pacific, the U.S. Coast Guard's reach is unrelenting. Precision, restraint, and discipline carried the night, turning what began as a radar blip into a decisive blow against one of the world's most elusive trafficking routes. For every intercepted vessel, dozens more still try. But each successful interdiction tightens the net, protecting coastlines, saving lives, and reminding the cartels that no stretch of ocean is beyond the watchful eye of the red, white, and blue. These quiet battles never make front-page headlines, yet they define the courage and resolve of those who stand guard at sea. If you believe stories like this deserve the world's attention, subscribe and stay tuned as we uncover more untold operations from the front lines of maritime security. Because even on the world's darkest waters, vigilance never sleeps.